Okay, so of course, whenever I try to make a video about Irizarry, the psychopath who likes to sit in the bathroom behind this wall and get really aggressive, intrusive, and disruptive, whenever I try to do anything in my bathroom, the video that I try to post suddenly cuts out. So let's try this again. It is now 11:18 a.m. on Friday, June 21st. I just made a video 5 minutes after using the facilities in my bathroom for the first time this morning, describing how just after I went into my bathroom quietly at around 10:50 a.m., to very quietly and surreptitiously try to use the facilities in there with the light off, the same psychopath, sex offender, and surveillance expert, according to her handlers at the Greenville group, named Jasmine Irizarry, that person started engaging the same exact pattern of aggressive, intrusive, harassment, disruptive behavior, and attention seeking from behind this wall, as she has been engaging in from behind that wall for 10 years now, since the Greenville group placed her in that bathroom in 2013. And I say they placed her in that bathroom because that's where she seems to spend almost all of her waking hours, and often in the middle of the night too. She smacks the wall behind my toilet. When I get up silently to try to use it at like 1:30 in the morning, she's in there. Last night, I had to call the Greenville group at midnight to describe that there were intense and overpowering amounts of marijuana smoke coming from the bathroom behind my bathroom, which is the bathroom of 78, and filling this entire corner, so that I had to keep the window 2 feet open in the middle of the night when anything can go flying in there. And I had to keep the door to the hallway open also like 1.5 feet in the middle of the night to try to get rid of the nonstop marijuana smoke that is constantly filling my bathroom, my kitchen space. This is insane. This shouldn't be happening. Greenville keeps telling me that Unit 78 is vacant and empty. Whenever I call them to tell them there's somebody making smacking and banging noises against the wall behind my toilet from that bathroom, they say, oh, we'll send maintenance up there to check it out. If that unit was not being legitimately rented, they would not be sending maintenance up there to check it out. If it was being legitimately rented, I mean, they would not send maintenance up there to check it out. Or they wouldn't say that. The last time they said they were going to send maintenance up there, I waited for an hour and maintenance never showed up. So they're not terribly worried about what's going on in the vacant premises of the former bathroom of a known psychopath who's also a registered sex offender. And I believe that her sex offender records have been impounded. Legally, I know that that happens quite frequently when judges don't want the public to have knowledge of somebody's criminal activities, or maybe just they don't want people looking up someone's case, right? You can also ask that your records be impounded, and maybe that's what happened. Right now, I can't speak normally because starting at 10:50 a.m., as soon as I quietly went into my bathroom to try to use the facilities, someone in the bathroom of 78 started using a directed energy device to electronically assault me while I was quietly sitting on my toilet. This directed energy device is something that I refer to as a remote taser, even though it's not an actual taser. It uses EMF output to literally zap people, and apparently at close range, because whoever's doing it is somewhere in the bathroom behind this wall. Directed energy weapons are much more commonly used than people realize. It sounds like science fiction, but you can actually make your own directed energy device just by going to a local hardware store and getting certain pieces of equipment that you can easily obtain over the counter. There's also a lot of websites on the internet on how to make your own directed energy weapon. And Irizarry, the psychopath who keeps accessing the bathroom behind this wall and who Greenville continued to tell me is living in this building, she claims to be a IT expert who is also a structural engineer, and both herself and Mr. Oleg Alexeyev have mentioned to me that she solves problems, whatever that means. So it's not a stretch to figure out that Irizarry can certainly access or make her own directed energy weapon. Greenville's maintenance team formerly referred to her as their surveillance expert, meaning she uses surveillance devices on behalf of the Greenville group, presumably to stalk and harass tenants that they don't like, or just to keep tabs on what people are doing in their bathroom. That's just creepy. It's also illegal. And then she deliberately propagates large amounts of marijuana smoke for hours at a time. I mean, I think she's just using a burner and a fan, because the intense amounts of smoke that are constantly filling this living space cannot possibly be generated by somebody smoking a single joint. I think she's using a burning and propagation system, meaning like a burner of some sort. You can get that at any store, and a fan. You can also get that at any store, because I keep having to keep the door to the hallway open. I've already walked around the hallway once in the last 10 minutes, and there's no smoke or fumes anywhere in the hallway. And this is where I have to go to get fresh air. See, this is where all the fresh air is. This is a huge space. and there's no odors of anything right here. I keep like going over to this side because this is where the door 78 is located. Yeah, you can smell a little bit of marijuana like right here, but it could also be coming from this door. I mean, I don't know if anybody is living in this unit right now, but it always seems to be kind of, you can notice it around this door right here. Yeah, but there's no smell like outside of my door. This is not where the marijuana smoke comes from. Oh, wow. Yeah. So again, like the minute I step into this area right here, this is where all the marijuana smoke, and this morning it has been like a combination of marijuana and cigar smoke comes from right there. In fact, I have to close this door because that's where it all comes from. It comes from my bathroom. I also can't use the shower because there's also almost no water coming out of the shower right now. I just made a video about that. So there's no water coming out of the shower head right now, even though it's on full volume. Okay, so this is fully on. This is off. Okay, so right now the water's off. This is a little bit on. This is mostly on. There's practically no water coming out of the shower. You can barely see any water coming out, and what the water that does come out is like a very thin stream. I can catch all of the water in my hand. It doesn't even cover my hand. There's practically no water coming out of the shower head. It doesn't stink right now. So right now the water's fine. This is very important to note. The water that comes out of the shower head right now smells perfectly fine. That it's fine. And the water pressure to this tap is great. I mean, there's plenty of water pressure here. So why is there no water pressure coming out of the shower? And this water smells fine. There's no weird smell coming from it or anything. So right now it's perfectly fine to use. Oh, I don't know. Now it's getting a little oily. Huh. Yeah, yesterday there was like this intensely oily residue coming out of the water from all three taps. But listen to this. It's such a trickle. It's like a trickle. You can't rinse anything under here. There's barely any water coming out of the shower head. It's like a thin, tiny little stream. There's something wrong with the shower head. Can't shower in it because there's no water coming out. Again, it barely covers my hand. Let's check the water pressure for the shower down the hall and see if it's a little bit better. I mean, when you can't stand under your shower and rinse, then what's the point? You need to go use another shower. Oh, yeah. Okay. So see that? See all that water coming out right there? That's normal water pressure. That is not the water that comes out of my shower head. Yeah, you can see the water. Look at all that. Awesome water pressure. It also covers my entire arm. You can also hear the water, right? Plenty of water. Okay, that is not the situation in my bathroom. The water that comes out of my shower is so thin that you can't rinse anything under it. It's almost like a trickle, which means there's either a problem with the shower head or there's a problem with the actual valve to that pipe. And because Irizarry, the psychopath, conducted a tremendous amount of plumbing work on a Sunday afternoon against the pipes to my kitchen tap for about 2 hours, there was all kinds of plumbing work, drilling. Sounded like they were installing like a whole new drainage system behind this wall. That was 5 years ago in June. That's when the water suddenly started to stink. That's when somebody started cutting off the hot water. All of a sudden, when I'd be trying to use it, the water would go from blazing hot to ice cold because somebody was messing with the valve that apparently had been somehow installed against the pipes to this bathroom and to this sink. And ever since then, 5 years now, I've been reporting constant problems with the safety and the usability of the water to all three taps in this unit that Greenville refuses to address. Okay, so yeah, once again, I have this is on full volume right now. There's no water coming out of the shower head. You can barely see any water coming out and it barely covers my hand. So there's a huge difference between the water pressure of the shower in the bathroom down the hall and the water that barely trickles out of the shower head. Although that water right now smells fine, there's no stench coming out. I bet you that's going to change if I start to take a shower. And no, it's not because I'm dirty or anything. I actually showered 2 mornings ago, and I spray myself down with alcohol in the meantime. And it doesn't happen when I use the shower from the bathroom down the hall. So if I was really causing the stink, then I would also get a stinking odor from the shower down the hall, and I never do. Okay, and there's someone in the bathroom of 78. I mean, as soon as I again, tried to use a toilet 20 minutes ago, Irizarry, the psychopath who has admitted to using a directed energy weapon, started electronically assaulting me while I was sitting on the toilet flipping off the wall right there. As I mentioned, I'm pretty sure that there is a surveillance device, although I can't see anything, somewhere in this area. It could be on the shower rack, which I try to cover. It could be somewhere on the molding right here, because when I flip off, when I'm sitting on this toilet and I'm flipping off this area right here, that's when Irizarry starts literally electronically assaulting me with her directed energy weapon that I keep referring to as a remote tasering device, because that's what it feels like. It's a full body electronic shock that, no, is not a freaking panic attack. Panic attacks, as far as I can tell, and from what I've been told, because I've never had one, is simply shortness of breath and you feel apparently like you're going to pass out. This is physically painful, and it literally feels like a full body electrocution. I mean, even your muscles start to twitch and to convulse when this is happening. That is not a panic attack. That's a physical electronic EMF assault. And directed energy weapons can be easily made by going to your local hardware store, watching a few YouTube videos, or reading a website how-to list of instructions and making your own. Oh my God. Irizarry, the psychopath who likes to access the premises of her former bathroom because that's about as physically close as she can get to people she likes to stalk and harass. She literally just exploded in a stink bomb of marijuana smoke right now. I have to close this door because the marijuana is coming from that door, and I have to keep this door wide open just to ventilate this space. This is so disruptive. I actually, once again, need to be somewhere this afternoon, and all this stuff is just preventing me from being able to do what I need to do in here and moving forward. And maybe that's the whole point. Mr. Oleg Iliseyev said that Jasmine Irizarry solves problems for them. She also said that she's a structural engineer who solves problems. That is a comment from somebody on YouTube that goes by the name J.Irizarry. So 2 different people have said the same thing about the same person, one of them being apparently that same person. So that's exactly what's happening. They're trying to solve a problem, and apparently I'm the problem. The marijuana smoke in here right now is so intense. I literally have to keep that door wide open, and there's no smoke or fumes in the hallway. There never are. I keep saying that over and over.
For maintenance, press 2. If you're interested in selling a property, press 3. For the office directory, press 4, or press 0 for the front desk.
Okay, so nobody ever answers the phone in their office.
After the tone, please leave a detailed message with your name and number so we may get back to you when we return.
Hi there. It's right around 11:30 a.m. on Friday, June 21st, 2024. This is the 3rd voicemail I've had to leave for Greenville in the last 24 hours regarding some very aggressive and sudden intrusive and disruptive behavior coming from the person who's always in the bathroom of Unit 78, located directly behind my toilet and behind my kitchen sink. This appears to be the same psychopath, sex offender, and surveillance specialist, as you guys like to refer to her, named Jasmine Irizarry, as you've been housing in that bathroom since 2013. This appears to be the same exact person that's been engaging in the same identical exact pattern of surveillance-based aggressive harassment from behind the wall of my toilet and my kitchen sink since 2013. Irizarry is a psychopath who claims to be a structural engineer, and Mr. Oleg Iliseyev mentioned to me back in 2019 that she solves problems. That's exactly what Irizarry herself recently admitted on social media, that she is a structural engineer who solves problems. And right now, as soon as I went into my bathroom to quietly use it at 10:50 a.m., all of a sudden, the same exact set of intense smoke and fumes that have been filling my bathroom.
Your extension followed by the pound key.
All right, let's try this again.
Sorry, your mailbox could not be retrieved. Please.
Okay, I'll try to keep it more brief this time. I do tend to get long-winded. There's so much going on.
Dial an extension at any time. For rentals, press 1. For maintenance, press 2. If you're interested in selling a property, press 3. For the office directory, press 4 or press 0.
What the hell? That just started happening. What is this?
Thank you for calling the Greenfield Group. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling from Unit 89 to report that there's someone sitting in the bathroom of Unit 78 located behind my toilet and my kitchen sink who's been engaging in some extreme smoking activities behind the wall of my bathroom and my toilet for the last, it's been going on since yesterday. There's intense amounts of marijuana filling my entire bathroom and kitchen area from the bathroom of 78. And at the same time, the water that is coming out of my kitchen tap, my shower head, and my bathroom tap has been causing problems and does not seem to be safe to use. I reported this yesterday twice. Is it possible for you to send maintenance up to Unit 89 to investigate why there's intense amounts of marijuana filling my bathroom and my kitchen?
I'll give them a call, but they're not in the area right now, but I'll give them a call for when they get back to go check it out, okay?
Sure, that would be great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. I mean, it's a little disruptive, right? When you have to keep your door wide open just to get some ventilation and fresh air into your living space because there's a psycho that likes to access the bathroom behind your sink and toilet and starts filling the entire area with marijuana smoke. She also was electronically zapping me with her electronic assault device while I was using the toilet. That suddenly started happening. There were no zapping episodes before that, and there haven't been any since. So that's weird. There's also no water coming out of my shower head. So as I just demonstrated, the shower head of the shower down the hall in the common bathroom has plenty of water coming out of it, plenty of water. My shower head has barely any water, and you can see it coming out in a tiny trickle that then becomes stinking and foul smelling when I try to rinse out shampoo and soap from my hair and face when I'm almost done with my shower. It only happens when I'm just about finished with my shower. So again, the smell has nothing to do with me, and it also doesn't happen at all at any point when I use the bathroom and the shower down the hall. So the smell isn't coming from me. It comes from the water that somebody is pumping into my bathroom and my kitchen tap. And it always happens when there's someone in that bathroom getting disruptive and smoking large amounts of marijuana just before I get in the shower. She likes to dox her own location, talking about the psychopath Irizarry, in the bathroom behind this wall. And then she gets really aggressive and disruptive when I try to take a shower or use the toilet. That keeps happening. And it forces me to leave the door to the hallway wide open just to get rid of the smoke and fumes that fill my bathroom completely unnecessarily when I try to use it. This wasn't happening an hour ago. None of this was happening an hour ago because an hour ago, I hadn't tried to use my bathroom yet.